Hey gamers, Brian aka Hillboy here. Since it's a gaming channel, I guess I kind of feel obligated to use my gamer tag that I use with all my friends and things like that. So there it is. Want to introduce you to Hillboy's Ramblings. This is something that I'm going to do on a weekly, bi-weekly basis, I guess, or bi-monthly, whatever you call it. Very lightly edited, very raw, unscripted, just some talking points and things that are on my mind that I just want to get out and talk about to everybody. And in the future, adding in some Q&As and go through and talk about what's on y'all's mind, the viewer's mind. So that's kind of the point of this segment in particular that we're going to be doing. So anyway, hope you enjoy. We'll kind of kick it off here and get started. So yeah, let me introduce myself first, since this is the first segment. I want to talk about who I am, where I come from, how I got to the point of where I am today, sitting here in front of this camera, rambling to you guys. So I've been a gamer my whole life. Started out on PC, to be honest. Never had a console. My dad built PCs for a living. He's an engineer. So I always had a PC growing up. After a few years of playing on PC, probably played PC through up until about high school. Then I moved over to consoles, got into the Xbox, PlayStation later on. Was terrible at them. Not that I'm very good at PC, but I was really bad at Xbox and PlayStation on a controller. And so I picked up PC again here about 3 years ago. Built my current PC 2 years ago, and we'll talk a little bit about that here in a minute. But joined the military right out of high school. Did 3 tours, one to Iraq, one to Afghanistan, then to Kuwait, and then I went back to I went back to Afghanistan for a year as a civilian contractor, doing basically the same thing I was doing in the military. And one of the things outside of talking with my wife and my family and being able to call back home and do web calls and those kind of things, the thing that really got me through was video games. I had got my first gaming laptop on my trip over there. On my 1 year trip, I had my first gaming laptop at the very end. But prior to that, they had these things called MWR tents or morale and welfare tents that we'd go to on base, and they'd have consoles set up, PlayStation, Xbox, that kind of thing. I forget which one it was. I think it was the 360 and PlayStation 3 or 2. I don't know. I don't know. On PlayStation, I only played Xbox. But played Call of Duty with my friends. We played a ton of Madden, a ton of FIFA, and I was really into sports games back then. Played a ton of Tiger Woods golf, and that really kind of, again, got me through kind of the monotony of the day, working 7 days a week, 12-hour days. That kind of thing, so yeah, it really kept me going. So that's kind of who I am, and kind of what's led me to the type of content. We'll talk in a minute about why content. I get to channel my inner Drax. Why content? But the reason that I chose to make videos to begin with, we'll talk about that in a minute, and it kind of leads a perfect segue into the next thing that I want to talk about, which is gamer's block. This is something that is an actual term. I googled it. It's real. I didn't create it on my own, which I'm sort of disappointed, but not at the same time, I guess. I called it gamer's block before I googled it, so if that makes it more mine, I don't know. But I've had really small cases of it before. Didn't call it anything then. It was just, hey, a few hours where I'd just come sit down in front of my computer screen and had no idea what to play, and would just sit there, turn on YouTube and not really actually play any games, or a couple of days the most maybe. But then I really had something to fall back to every single time. Had PUBG to fall back to. It was kind of the big thing that I fell back into back then, was PUBG. And so with that, recently, as with a lot of people really with PUBG, is we don't play PUBG anymore. None of my friends do, and I don't want to play it solo. It's kind of boring, and it's just a bunch of tryhards now anyway. No offense to you tryhards out there, so here recently, it's lasted weeks. I haven't really been able to find a game that I just sit down and I'm like, yes, this is what I want to play today. I'm excited. I have been playing some Phasmophobia. I would recommend it to anybody. It's a very fun and cool game, really cool concept where you can, like, it actually picks up your mic and it's really cool. I like the concept. You're looking for ghosts and trying to find this ghost, and then when you find it, you freak out and run away. That's cool. If you want to see a game turn grown men into screaming messes, yeah, play some Phasmophobia with your friends. It is a lot of fun. But anyway, it's not a sponsored video. I just had to talk about that a little bit. That's one game that I have been able to play with my friends some at night. But outside of that, there's just been nothing. I'm just sitting down and play something on my own. Nothing is really clicking for me. So, down in the chat, or not chat, that's Twitch, but down in the comments, have you ever had large cases of gamer's block? I'd love to hear about it. If you're going through it now, but how did you overcome it? What games do you play? Are there games that you always go back to? I know for a lot of people, like my brothers and friends, MMOs are really what they go back to, because it's something that is always there, always got new content, and so if they take a break from it for a long time, then they can kick back in and just play that forever. I've never really been into MMOs. I can't get into them for whatever reason. Maybe it's more that I don't want to get into them because I'll know I'll just lose myself and never come out. So I just don't even get started with them. But anyway, yeah, let me know what sort of cases of gamer's block y'all have gone through, if you've heard of it before, and how you've kind of gotten over that. And so I mentioned earlier why content, and this is really why. So the last couple of weeks, not really knowing what to play, not knowing what to do, just sitting down on my computer, looking for an RTX 3080, which we're going to talk about in a minute, another segue there, but a little bit early. And so looking for the RTX 3080, looking for a game to play, not being able to find it, looking up YouTube videos, and all of a sudden just started getting a feed of how to YouTube and all these different things. So I started watching that, and also I've always been into like Casey Neistat and some of the more artistic creators out there, which was kind of the gist behind the first video that I made. I wanted to see, hey, what sort of content can I make, and what sort of editing can I do as someone that just downloaded DaVinci Resolve for the first time a week ago and started editing. So I wanted to test some editing skills, and so check out that video if you haven't already. Let me know what you think of that one, and hopefully it'll evolve from there. But anyway, so yeah, this gamer's block really actually ended up leading to me wanting to say, hey, I think that I can, and I think that I would like to create content. I've done the Twitch streaming thing before. It was a grind. I enjoyed it when there's people to engage with, but it's Twitch. It's really hard to get into if you don't have a following. I'm probably going to pick it up again here down the road too. I would love to invite some of y'all over there to watch me stream, but that's not my focus. My focus is building content on YouTube and hopefully putting out things that y'all really enjoy. And I want to have kind of a style between like the Casey Neistat's out there, the more artistic type of content, and focus that in on gaming and gaming technology and the things that I enjoy, but focus it more around the average gamer, the average tech person. I'm not a huge tech geek that knows the inner workings of every piece of technology in my computer. I know how to put it together, I know not to be dangerous, and that's about it. So that's something I want to focus on. Same thing for games. My game reviews are going to be more focused on, is it fun to play? Is it something that works for one, can you get through the whole game? Is it user friendly? Is it something, those kind of things? And then on technology side, going to focus more on kind of first impressions, and kind of show you what it is, how it works. Is it user friendly? Does it work as intended? But not going to get into the super nuts and bolts. There's lots of channels out there for that. So I'm going to focus again more on giving content to you guys, as I would like to receive it myself as the average gamer and average tech enthusiast out there. So that's kind of my focus there. But anyway, love to hear from you down in the comments as well on your thoughts on that. Is that content that you want to see? Because that's what you're gonna get. So the next thing that I want to talk about, I alluded to a minute ago, was the RTX 3080. So this was the first graphics card that I was chasing at launch. I've currently got a 1080 in my PC now. I've had that for about 2 years, and so it does its job, right? And it's something that 8 subscribers, I think now, one of which is not my friend. Everyone else is like personal friends of mine. So I'll be way behind the curve on that by the time I get mine, and no one's sending me review copies of anything at this point. So just throw some of those up there so you can kind of see it. But the launch has been a complete cluster. I'm telling you, again, it's the first time I've chased something at launch, so maybe this is the way it is every single time when you go chase something at launch. But I'll even show you up here now that I've got Newegg on my screen, I've got Best Buy on my screen, I've got Amazon on my screen, I've got the now in stock tracker, which hasn't even shown anything since August 6th on here, even though I think there's been a couple of drops, but they've just stopped even trying. And so I'm still refreshing, not as madly as I was in the very beginning, where my F5 button is now barely even showing anymore compared to what it was when it first started. So I'm still having it up all the time, still refreshing it, just not like a maniac like I was before. I do have a spot in EVGA's queue. Unfortunately, my spot is on 9/26, and I know people from 9/17, the actual launch day, are still waiting on their emails, so I'm not sure when that'll ever work. My hope is that there were thousands and thousands of people on launch day putting their queue in, and then it just kind of exponentially dropped off from there. That's my hope. Probably not true in any way, but I'm gonna hang on to that. What about you guys? How many of y'all have actually tried to get a 3080? How many of you got one? What kind are you trying to get? What kind did you get? Let me know in the comments below what you have, and if you've gotten one, what has your experience been? Have you liked it? Has it worked well? Have you experienced? I know there was a lot of drama out there on things that were going on with those. Have you experienced any of those issues, or did the driver update that they did a week or so ago fix that? Yeah, so let me know in the comments down below what you think. Anyway, so that's my ramblings for this week. Again, probably going to be a weekly segment, maybe for the first little while bi-weekly, where I'm doing it or bi-monthly, where I'm doing it every couple of weeks, as I kind of get into this, because I'm still going to have more of a weekly major segment that I have some really cool ideas for, that'll be more structured, kind of focused on some different things. I would like to get my son involved. I think that'll be really cool and fun for him. He loves YouTube and watches different videos and things like that, so he's excited to try to get involved some. So maybe do a segment for him. I still work full time, so this will be something I do outside at night and those kind of things, as much as my wife will allow me to. Bless her heart. But so yeah, let me know what you think of this video. If you like what you've seen so far from this video or the intro video that I did, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Would love to have you back on the channel as I upload more videos. Got some really cool things in the works. Really special video coming for Halloween. Got a really cool idea. Got a lot of it shot, just doing some final editing and putting it together and those kind of things. So a really fun idea that I'm going to do for Halloween, and would love to get your feedback on that video. So my goal is to have weekly or bi-weekly Hillboy ramblings, which I'm rambling at this point now, more structured weekly video. Got a couple of friends that I may collab with on putting that together that may do some of this with me that are excited about it. And then periodically do some very, hopefully, this is coming from someone that's only been using editing software for a week. So some hopefully very high production value videos that are very unique and just off the wall, sometimes funny, maybe serious, whatever, themed videos periodically every few months or a few weeks, whatever. So anyway, thanks for hanging out, and look forward to chatting with you in the future.